Stream
Rearming
elements.
complete.
Bill 1949T is now live. Streaming DCS World, My Flight Simming, DCS. Streaming DCS World, My Flight Simming, DCS.
Okay folks, I'll be with you soon, and I've just got to paste something. I've lost mapping, because when I press 0, I set it up previously to take me to the controls menu, which it isn't. It's normally the escape button, but it's not doing it on that either. And now it's got it. Oh my goodness.
Leo Play 7.
Request rearming.
Hi Leo.
Copy.
Yeah, I've had a couple of little issues there. I've come out of kind of testing mode. I was in testing mode in DCS for quite some time because I just upgraded from Windows 10 to Windows 11 with all sorts of issues, including the loss of 2 drives. But now it's pretty much back up. I've still got about 10% to do, but it actually still amounts to a reasonable amount of work for various reasons. If you've ever done anything like that, getting all your programs back and setting up all your programs and all your preferences, etc., is a very long job. So I did have a banner up before to say I'm only testing. At the moment I'm more than testing, but my flaps weren't coming down just now, but I think now they are. Let me just recheck. Yeah, they're working fine now, but on the way in, when I was coming into land, they didn't come down. I had to click them to bring them down. I had to mouse click them to bring them down, so that's a bit odd. But anyway, I'm back down, I'm rearmed, so I'm ready to take off. Leo plays. Do you fly in DCS, Leo? Sorry if you've already told me and I've forgotten. Reset my trims.
What's your fortune?
Yeah, copy that.
Leo Play 7. Map.
Okay, good.
But that's a pity. If you did, you could
So
join
I'll just
us.
connect up and say I was just about to crack the seal on the port.
Okay, jolly nice. For some reason I thought you were going to be talking about the mission there, and then cracking the seal on the port. Didn't quite click immediately, but enjoy. Right, so I'm adjusting my rudder trim, which is just about visible in the bottom left. Okay, so trims are set.
Leo plays 7. Be back soon.
Copy, Leon.
Bill, thank you for the bottle. It's been a long time since I've had some port action.
Well, actually, that's made me think that I might have a drop. So, for the sake of my stream, I'll be gone for that 10 seconds whilst I go and get my bottle. I'll be back.
Roger, roger.
The thing about port is that it sticks the lid or the cork inside the bottle. So if you don't drink it often enough, the cork gets stuck. So I'm having to work on mine.
Mine was a little bit difficult to get out in the first place, actually. So,
Yeah, it's next time when it's been sitting for a while with wet port around the inside of the bottle and the cork sticking to it.
I'll try and make sure that it doesn't sit still for too long.
Yeah, good plan. Same applies to Bovril actually. If you've got any Bovril on the lid accidentally on the thread and you tighten it up to any degree, you've got a job getting the lid off. It's really a good glue.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that says as a drink, but yeah.
That's right. Well, I've got it. I've got the cork out anyway.
Just get.
It's not even an actual cork, is it? It's I don't know about yours, but my one is like that sort of fake cork stuff. But maybe that's why it sticks so well. Don't know.
Request repair. Unable to comply.
I didn't request a repair. I don't know where it got that from, and it can't comply because the engine's running. Okay, I'm gonna have a quick sip and go. I'll give Laxor a quick buzz. And I should close my canopy window. I like the sound of it open, but I should close it, I suppose. Right, now I was going to have a go at that little bunch of enemy infantry to the northwest of the airfield. It's very difficult to get a bead on exactly where they are to go in and attack them, because you can't really see them. I'm seeing some of our units, and I think they're just north of them, so I'll go for them. I think it might only be one. Perhaps the others have been destroyed. No, it can't be, because the others have been destroyed. There'll be containers there. I think I need to still adjust my track IR after all this as well, because I'm really having to bend my neck. They're almost impossible to see. And they were off to my right somewhere. A bullet's coming up, but I couldn't see exactly where from. Something hit me. Definitely a need to adjust my track IR. I'm really not going to fight this. I wonder if it's resorted back to the default setting. I can't check that right now. Not easy as you think. It seems to have become a bit tighter for the control. There's probably still a number of things I've got to fiddle with to get it all back after. That was a real pain going from Windows 10 to Windows 11 was not painless by any means. I lost 2 drives. Various reasons. But I got one of them. The main ones, oh, too late. Really messed me up, but I can't look round. I can't look round. The track IR's not properly working. My best bet now is to try and get back. I've got a feeling that's not going to work. Engine's dying. They really hit that. 49 emergency landing coming in on 08. And they're not going to repair me just here, I'm quite sure.
M_Natasha 1 at Bill 1949 Th.
Hey Natasha, yeah, sorry, that was a bad time for you to come in, wasn't it? Look at that. The ground troops, enemy ground units, they just shot my engine up. I don't think they're going to repair me where I am, but I'm just going to ask for it. They probably won't. please, anyone that's there, let me know when you go, because according to the view number, I've now just got one viewer. I don't know if that's true or not, so let me know if you go.
M_Natasha1. By the way, I'm a chill animator and video editor crafting clean creative visuals.
Very nice too, Natasha. Right, I'll see if they'll repair me, but I cannot imagine they will.
Request repair.
No, they're not going to come all this far out. So I'll just respawn. For now, I'm going to constantly use a Spitfire, because after the issues that I had going from Windows 10 to Windows 11 and a massive amount of work I had to do to get everything back to normal over the course of well over a week, nearly 2 weeks, and it's still not completely back. So I'm just trying to keep things simple.
M_Natasha1. Natasha_Jack here is my Discord username.
Natasha.Jack is Discord. Oh, okay. Well, that might only come in handy if you were flying and you needed to be in Discord for flying. But we don't usually use Discord now. We use the aircraft radio for communications now. Oh look, there's a number of enemy units, ground units down there, so they need to be taken care of. They'll probably be shooting at us as we take off. They'll certainly be shooting at Laxor, I would have thought, because he would have been just there, unless he's already airborne. Okay, I'll get started, and I think I'll go that way and take off towards the east on 08. I nearly forgot, I have to get armed now. On this mission we have to get armed before we take off, otherwise we've got no ammo.
Request refueling.
Oh, can we get started up?
Copy.
Well, that was something crashed behind us.
Refueling complete.
But they're still rearming. I can get started, but I can't move until they've rearmed me. So let's get started. Crack the throttle. I've already primed. That should be enough for the throttle. Let's get going. Just get a quick radio check off Laxor if he's there.
Complete.
Radio check.
Check.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's a couple of units encroaching on your position. I crashed, so I'm going to hop and Spitfire.
Yeah.
And then switch back to Helicopter.
I had noticed them. I was going to go for them. Tasha, if you can let me know if the sound balance between my voice and the engine etc. sounds is okay, if that balance is okay. Oh, I'm setting my trims, some altitude. Altimeter, I mean.
Santa owns. That was a bot, buddy. It's good though.
That was a bot. What was a bot?
Santa owns. That Natasha person was a scam bot.
Ah! Oh, okay. Well, thank you for that. I thought it was a bit odd that the first thing that got mentioned was that a chill animator and video editor. So yeah.
Santa owns. Never message anyone on Discord.
No, I don't. That's why I said, because I bot or no bot, I just said, you know, we're not likely to be talking on Discord. The only reason that we might is if they were genuine and they were flying. But we use the radio in Discord in the aircraft now, so even that wouldn't warrant Discord. So my PC is 90% back to normal, I think. But even that last 10% can be quite a bit of work.
Santa owns. Great news. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean that's been a real headache. That's sort of, considering I lost 2 drives during that process. One of the drives had my recording projects on it. One of them I have managed to retrieve actually, because there was an issue that I wasn't comfortable with. I was in contact with Ableton support. That's the studio that I use. I was in contact with them, and they said, well, can you send us the project so that we can look at it? So I sent that onto a Google Drive, and of course I remembered that later on, or not too long ago. Went to my Google Drive, pulled down all the stuff. It's all in different folders, but I stuck it all together in the same folder, and now I've got that project back, which is brilliant. I haven't got to start from scratch. It still needs to be done. All the tracks need to be redone, but at least doing one track, I've still got all the other tracks to sing or play against, so that's really good. You can hear Laxor's already airborne. We've got enemy infantry near the airfield.
Manual mouse pointer is a huge ha-ha.
Well, having 3 screens, if I lose track of it, it's much easier to find when it's bigger. It's bigger than I usually have it, but that was a quick setting, which I don't mind. I'll probably reduce it again, but that was just a very quick setting because I was getting frustrated that I couldn't see it so
That's
easy.
what she told me to.
1908 bit by takeoff. By the way, Centre, if you're able to report on it, what's the, not so much now because I'm only ticking over, but when I've got flying and I'm revving the engine a bit, can you let me know what the balance is like between the voice and the engine? I don't want the engine quiet, I want the engine to be audible because it's a great sound. Yeah, thanks, Centre. Quick check where those units are. Axel's just overflown them. I might zoom in and get a better look. So pretty much south of this Bay 29. Although that's not marked on the map as 29, but it's the second one in. That might help me. Okay, chocks away. Right, so it's south of that second bay. Well, counting from the left on that now. Oh, them all moved. No joke. Laxor got them. Okay, there's more. Not that I can see them, but they're somewhere around there. I think I've got to make my track IR more sensitive because I'm breaking my neck to look round. Okay, well I can't turn the voice up anymore, but I'm going to bring this aircraft down a bit, but I want it to be audible. It's a beautiful sound. Thanks for the feedback on that. Right, I've brought the aircraft radio sound down a bit. Has that made much difference?
Santa owns. That is probably fine, to be honest.
Lovely, thank you. As long as I don't lose the aircraft sound. Okay, I found one. I think my next task tonight is going to be to adjust my track IR settings once I've landed. Well, I found him, but never mind. This is my chance to adjust my track IR, isn't it? I can leave you watching Lexor while I do that. Well, except we might move off. Because I've got to look at my other screen. Or no, I can bring it onto this screen. Oh, okay, think with the camera. Camera position is a bit different. That might not be the curves. I'm on the correct profile. So I'll get back in the aircraft. Well, that's odd. It's not showing the helipads. Normally it does. Why is it not showing them? I'll check the Lexor. Lexor, have you noticed that the helipads are not showing?
Haven't seen what's...
The helipads, where you normally spawn in, you've got like square big helipads, but they're not there.
They are if you're on spectator or...
Oh, hang on, wait a minute, they've just come back in. They weren't there at all just now, but they've just come back in on the map.
Right, okay.
Had a couple of odd things. I'm not sure if that's my stuff or not. As I was coming into land earlier on, my flaps switch wasn't working, and then when I landed, it was working again. So, or when I tested it after I'd landed, it was working. So, I'm not quite sure what's happening there.
Right, I think what it was is the helipads weren't showing because there was red units on them, which meant they had been temporarily taken control of by red.
Ah, okay. I didn't know that happened. Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
Santa owns. Enjoying a drink.
Yeah, bottle of Graham's, which is
Santa owns.
mostly gone.
Muted. Santa owns. Ha ha.
Muted? No, am I not coming through? No, I'm coming through. Okay, so okay,
Santa
get started.
owns. I didn't hear you when you had the bottle, maybe on purpose, I guess.
Oh no, yeah, I hadn't pressed the button at that time. Yeah, I was just showing you the bottle, but I hadn't pressed the button at that immediate time. Okay, now let's see how this behaves. Because oh, just listen to that.
I'm gonna come in and try and land.
Copy that. Sounds gorgeous, that aircraft, because of the Echo 19. It's it just sounds beautiful.
Of course, yeah.
Santa owns. So hard to fly, but sounds amazing.
Well, it's only hard to fly to start with. Not so much to fly, it's really just take off and landing. Oh, hang on, let's get some bullets, because otherwise I'll forget. Change my livery.
Request refueling.
Yeah, there was a time
Request rearming.
when I didn't think, I'm thinking, God, I shouldn't have bought this aircraft, I can't take off in it. But once you've had, you've learned a few things about it, it's okay. And flying it is a dream, that's lovely. It's responsive. It's more responsive than, say, I've got an F-16, but the F-16 seems to sort of say, hang on a minute, every time I move the controls. It just wants me to hang on a second while it thinks about it and does it, whereas this just does it.
Rearming complete.
I'm down, it was far from free.
Well, that happens to me, and I fly the Spitfire a lot more, don't I? So there's no worries there.
Just, I'll move off the runway.
Yeah, copy that. I've just got to set a few things like altimeter and my trims, and then I'll be taxiing. So obviously that's Laxor.
I'll get off the runway and then I'll switch out to helicopter again to carry on trying to do the CSAR testing and all that.
Yep, copy that. I'll do a bit more in the spit, but I can give assist on the CSAR a bit later if you want, if that helps. And yeah, Santa, when you're saying like sounds amazing, that's why I want it loud as I can, and you still to be able to hear me, because it sounds so much better at proper volume. I don't just want to have a gentle noise in the background of the engine. I want this engine to come through. So hopefully it does now. Right, I'm just trying to think what I was going to do. I think I've done something to my track. I just adjusted the camera, so we'll see if that does it. Yeah, that's what I was going to do, check the map in case there's any baddies around. Santa, I think I probably said about the way the brakes work on a Spitfire, haven't I? I must have done. I say it to everyone, so whether I said it to you or not, or whether you already know, I don't know. But I can explain the brakes if you don't already know. That's good, that's good. Before I take off, I might look at my curves for my stick. I'll get to the end of the taxiway and I might look at my curves.
Santa Rose. I'll be after say.
Copy that. that was a container I was shooting at then. Don't want to waste bullets on that. I think I've still got to adjust the sensitivity of track IR because I'm still having to break my neck to look around. They've all respawned now. When you destroy them all, they respawn. On that lot, the others don't. This lot do. Just good for practice. all ammo is expended on RTB. 0.9 out of ammo RTB. And just to show you the difference between canopy closed and open. There's the canopy closed and it sounds quite nice. Whoops. But it's so much nicer when you open the canopy. 0.9 turning finals on 08.
Unfortunately, Seesaw is broken again, or not responding, despite it working fine earlier.
Darn it. What a mess, what a mess. Okay, I've got some damage. I might as well get repaired, and whilst I'm getting repaired, I'll get my track IR stuff up and maybe adjust the curves a little bit. I don't know why they should have reduced, but they seem to have.
Right.
Oh, hang on, the camera's also a bit off. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to sit here on the runway for a minute while I do that. I'm on the south edge of the runway.
Okay. Okay, so I'm looking around there, that seems to work, but it seemed like that when I took off before, but when in flight, it seems that I'm not seeing as far round. That can't be true, it must be the same, but the camera position and the curves will make a difference, but I can't show you the curves are on a separate screen, so I can't show you those curves. I might just try tweaking them up a little bit. I'll start a repair first, which means you've got to cut the engine.
Request repair. Copy. Request refueling. Request rearming. Copy.
Right, so I'm now going to be on the other screen. Now I'll try and get across like I did before.
Refueling complete. Rearming complete.
Okay, we'll see how that behaves. I'm not sure if he said I've been rearmed or not.
Request repair.
Copy.
Request refueling. Request
Copy.
rearming.
Copy. Refueling complete. Rearming complete.
Okay, that's done some adjustment to the to track IR. Let's see what difference that makes. I've been repaired, I've been rearmed, so I'm good to go really. Okay, I'll go have a go at the BTRs on the bridge, I think. So we've got 3 of them out of the 4. Oh, we're gonna freeze. I got a freeze. I just had a freeze. Not very long. Engine's running off, R2B. They shot out my hydraulics as well. No, pneumatics, because the brake didn't seem to be doing much. But I think I should get repaired at this point.
Request repair.
Copy.
I've definitely got some track IR issues that I can't seem to easily get over. I wonder if I've got a copy somewhere of what I used to have. I think I'm waiting for repair at the moment, although I'm off the runway. I managed to get back, engine cut just after my wheels touched, so, and I think I lost my pneumatics, so I had no braking. Oh, and that's 2 flat tyres. I shot both of my tyres out. So all that considered, that wasn't such a bad landing. Okay. Forgot to put my mixture lever back. Let's try again. Copy.
Alright, sorry about that. I had to respawn and then forgot to sort out the radio again.
Oh, right. What time are you staying till?
I was going to say 1:30, but it is 1:30. I'm going to have another go at another cargo lift, maybe 1 or 2 lifts, and then I'll call it 15, maybe.
15's good. I just had a landing. I was getting shot up by the infantry near the bridge, so I realised my engine was not running very well. So I came back, and as I landed, just as I touched down, the engine cut out. But I had no pneumatics, so I had no braking, so I ended up off runway. But they still repaired me.
Right. I thought where I was going to get repaired, because I was just next to the helipads, but Mozdog's a bit funny about what it does and where it doesn't.
Oh, right.
In theory, if you look on the map, there's a black circle that goes round Mozdog. And according to just about everyone I've spoken to, the black circle indicates the rearm repair radius of the airfield's warehouses. So it's completely wrong, because you can only rearm on certain parts of the tarmac.
Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, we've found like between the thresholds on the runway.
Yeah.
109's in the area. I'm seeing a whole stack of BTRs in a place I don't normally see them. They're moving. They're south of the airfield. Also aware there are 109s in the area.
Santa owns. He wasn't in a chopper. Santa owns. He didn't hear you for sure.
Oh, okay. I've never seen this lot before. There's a whole bunch of BTRs heading sort of southeast. I've never seen them before. I have to ask him.
94, check again.
Yeah, copy. I've just noticed a whole bunch of BTRs heading southeast from the west end, or the south of the west end of the airfield. I've never seen them before.
Yeah, they're right.
Stopped moving now, but they were moving at quite a good rate.
I wonder if that's... No, I have no idea why they're there. They're not supposed to be there. That's the convoy that comes in from the west and stops at the west end of the road.
Yeah, but they're not in single file. When you zoom in, they're in like 3 abreast, and there's about, how many, 8 lines of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ranks of 3 abreast.
Check. They're coming. Need to get some more shots.
Be interesting to see what happens next time we fly then, if you're not expecting to see them there.
Yeah, check. Are you...
Say again?
They are coming into the airfield. We need to get shots on them, just to slow them down for a
Santa
second.
owns. They are coming in.
Okay, well I'll take off another go.
And we've got one.
I'll say we've got 109s around as well. I'm going to take off on the taxiway. So I haven't got any, I'm not armed yet, darn it. I've got to wait to get armed.
Request rearming.
Copy.
Well, some of them seem to be moving away, so they left one behind. I'll see what I can do about that one. A whole bunch of those BTRs are moving south now.
Rearming complete.
Copy. out of ammo.
Yeah, I'm in the air. They are all over the place. I've got no idea where they're going or what they're doing, which is kind of interesting. But
Let's talk about the BTRs. I was dealing with a couple of 109s. I hit one of them and got him venting. There's another one that has got hit and I chased him, but I don't know. I don't think either of them went down.
yeah.
Okay, I'm RTB. Okay, I'm static on the north edge of the runway. Managed to get down okay. Got a bit of damage, but that got quite exciting in the end. But we could definitely do with more players to deal with that lot.
Yeah.
There's still 109 floating around. One just overflew me. I'm surprised he didn't shoot at me. For the sake of my stream, I'll be closing the stream soon. It's been sort of eventful, sort of interesting, and I'm still making changes after my calamitous upgrade to Windows 11. But and there's still more to do.
Santa owns. No worries, I enjoyed speaking with and watching you both.
That's good. Oh yeah, was you also on Laxos stream as well? That's good. Imagine he'll be flying back, so I'll hang on for a bit and see what he's doing and just see him land, and then we'll probably fold there because it's midweek and it's nearly 2 o'clock. Oh, there's one coming in after me by the looks of it. Yep. That's me toast. I'll respawn just so that I've contact with that, so. So perhaps you can watch for a little while. I didn't see Laxor's explosion. Seeing bombs releasing, but I'm not seeing explosions. I'll get back in the spit just so I can talk to him. Yeah, Laxor copy.
Yep, check.
Okay, well I was seeing your bombs released there because I got shot. I ended up coming in and I got blown a bit to bits by a 109. But I was seeing your bombs falling, but I wasn't seeing them exploding on the ground.
Yeah, I'd be inclined to agree. I was finding that they were not blowing up either, and I don't believe I've done anything wrong.
I don't know if it's just a graphics thing, whereas they were exploding, but it wasn't showing us that. But there were some BTRs on fire, so you must have done something.
Yeah, I think I got the impression it was more a case of they just happened to be hit hard enough with a brick.
Oh right, okay. So it was a physical clout rather than an explosion that did the damage, you reckon?
Yeah, possibly.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to take off again. I'll just jump to the spit so that I've got comms.
Yeah.
Overall, everything is pretty much back to normal. I've still got perhaps some things to look at with Track IR, some oddities with that. Might just be camera position, but I've still got some oddities there. I think everything else is pretty much okay.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, after that week and a bit, nearly 2 weeks of all that, well, yeah, it is. It's good that it's back. It really is. Since I've been getting things back to normal, I've also created backups because I'm able to link up with my laptop. I've created backups. Also, I've got a plug-in anyway. I've got a plug-in separate external hard drive. But I've now created a backup for all my Ableton stuff. Obviously that's only going to be any good for future recordings.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if I manage to get my hand on the disc eventually, I might be able to do something with it, but I don't know.
Well, the thing is, I'm sure that the disk that it's on, it's like a mechanical hard drive, and I'm pretty sure it's not spinning.
Right.
So unless, like, there probably are professional servers that could take the disk out, or the actual platters, whatever you call them, the memory disks out, and put them in a disk that works. Or maybe I could even do that. Put them in a disk that spins, and then maybe that would make them readable.
No, they're so sensitive. I don't think you'd be able to do that by hand.
Alright, so it's not just a case of take it out of here and put it, they've probably got to be set up within the case that they're going in, yeah? Well, as you say, that's not something I can do, but I did ask Copilot about that kind of thing and ballpark cost figures, and it was like anything from 300 quid to £1,000 to recover the contents of a disc.
Yeah.
Santa owns.
It depends what's wrong with it. But if you do manage to get some form of access, then you can got that.
Yeah, cheers for that, Santa. They're probably very expensive though, prohibitively so. Sorry, Laxor, can you repeat that last message?
Santa owns. No,
Yeah, if you do manage to get some movement on the discs, then it can be possible to just do data recovery yourself, because I have done it before. There are some tools are better than others, but yeah, if the disc is simply damaged or not working, then that makes it does make it a lot harder.
Yeah. That's I think that's the situation I have. So yeah, Santa Owens was just saying, you know, there are some good ones that can do it, but yeah, I don't know that I could do that. But I've now created a backup system, so for future recording projects,
even if
safe.
It's slightly damaged, you can totally mess it up way more.
Yeah, I can believe that. But I think that must have been, I mean, it went down whilst I was trying to do this Windows upgrade from 10 to 11. At what point, I don't know, but may not be connected at all with the upgrade. Maybe just it was about to go. It's an old disk, so maybe it's just about to go. I was lucky though with one of the projects
Did you hear any noises at all?
No, I couldn't, because I had it outside and I've got something I can plug into it from on the outside, treat it like an external hard drive. I couldn't hear anything, couldn't feel anything, you know, with it, just to say that it was spinning. But there was one project. The thing that was bugging me most was that there was a project that was a work in progress. The others are pretty well done, but there's one project that was very recent and a work in progress, and a lot of work had gone into it. Fortunately, on that particular project, I had an issue with the MP3 sound that I was getting out of it. When I exported as an MP3, the sound wasn't right. I got in contact with Ableton, the actual people that I use, whose studio on PC I use, and they said, well, send us the whole project so we can look at it. So I did that. Have I said this before? It sounds like deja vu. I did that, sent it to them, and then I remembered just recently that I'd done that, so I pulled down all the folders, stuck them together in one folder, and it's worked. I've got that back, that particular project. I've got it all back. So it's not good enough. I've still got to record most, if not all, tracks again, but at least I've got a whole song that I can then record one track. I've got all the rest of the song to sing or play against.
Santa owns. Yes, you did in the beginning of stream. That's great that one is still available.
I'm sorry about repeating myself. Yeah, that one is still available. I can get into it, and I can remix it. I can re-record on it. It's all fine. And that's, to be honest, that's probably the most important one, because it's what I've done the most work on recently. And it's still a work in progress. It's not a finished article. I don't know if I... Oh, actually, I don't know. Did I... I might have even pinged you a copy of what I was doing, did I? I can't remember.
Santa owns. I don't remember that, but man, I also do 5 million things at once.
Oh, yep, copy. I was in the middle of pouring.
Ah, gotcha. So I just respawned, and then the BTRs got to where I was and destroyed me. It's 2:05, so I'm gonna probably have to call it there, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I wasn't planning on flying anymore tonight. The only reason I got back in the spit was just so that I got comms.
Right, gotcha.
So your next flight will possibly be Sunday?
Yeah, I think that'll probably be it, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, well, I think tonight was eventful. Made a couple of discoveries, so it was functional and a bit exciting at the end as well there.
Yeah, unexpected. Whether or not I want it to do that more often, I don't know. I think people would probably complain if it did, so I'll have to look at it one way or another. But yeah, I think it's interesting. I think most of the people on the server now are moderately competent in one module or another to be able to get up and get going fairly quick. And if one slot position doesn't quite work, then you just choose a different slot position, and you're generally good. You can get up there instead. So I'd like to leave it with stuff feeling a little bit more aggressive. And I think unpredictable. Like, not necessarily aggressive, but certainly unpredictable. I don't like being always having the same stuff in the same place.
Yep, I definitely go along with that, and it was quite refreshing almost to see all those BTRs turn up at that point. Just a bit scary and incompatible. But I mean, if there's more of us in the server at the time, then that might work better.
Hey mate, I really admire the positive energy you bring to
or
your
if you just jump up in a hostile A10 with a cannon.
I'd be glad to connect with you on Discord.
Would make better use of it, or better mincemeat of it. But yeah, it would be achievable one way or another. But I don't like static. I like stuff being more event driven, so something happens, but I've got no control over where that thing is.
Yeah, I definitely agree there. It's
Santa
nice that
owns.
these things just sort of turned
Have
up.
a good one, sir. Gotta go eat dinner /
Thank you, Santa. Bon appetit, monsieur. Yeah, so I definitely agree that the non-predictability part of it is definitely good. Not sure if I pushed the right button then. Did I just say something, or did I push the wrong button?
Yes, right. I kept going onto the wrong screen. Yeah, I did hear that. I just didn't respond at the time.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, although now I can't remember what you said, so I was a little bit flustered, and now I can't.
Basically, I'm just saying I agree that the non-predictability part is good. I like that.
Yeah. So Jeep was saying, look to see if anyone's controlling them on the red side, which is a fair comment, but I can't see to know one way or another. And again, that's fair. If you want to have someone sitting there being malevolent, as Dave's hand, shall we say, then that's also fair, because there'll be an element of unpredictability. But that means someone needs to want to do it, which there won't always be. There won't always be. But I like the mission to a certain degree to be autonomous. Not intelligent by any way, shape or form, but certainly autonomous. So we've got the seesaw. The seesaw happens because something got shot down. There's no control over where it got shot down. It just happens to be where it was, and every time it's different. And I want that element of unpredictability on everything that we do.
Yeah, that would be good. And also, I think it'll be. I'm not sure what the general feeling is at the moment, but we don't do air-to-air PvP without common agreement, do we? But I'm just thinking, if someone was to spawn in on the red side, at 109, that should be fair game that they come and get us.
Yeah, I mean, people have done before. It wouldn't be the first time, and yeah, that's totally allowed within the thing. But I think it's good if people mention that that's what they're going to do, so we're not just sitting there getting completely destroyed. It's like, if you're going to do it, give a heads up, sort of thing. But yeah, that's totally allowed from a gameplay perspective. And what I also want to do is, at the moment, everything is blue orientated. So everything, the long-term plan is everything that you can do with blue, seesaw, cargo, and all that lot, you can do in red as well.
Yeah, that sounds good. Maybe spawning as a red 109 or whatever. Maybe that should be encouraged. Although I'm saying that, but I suppose if they spawned in something that's got missiles on board, as in a Spitfire, I'd have no chance, I guess. That would take away the fairness of it.
Yeah, but then I think most of the people on this server play fair, so to speak. It's only the occasional outlier that comes in and doesn't. But I think even if that was the case, then the rest of the blue team would generally band together and take him down anyway.
Yeah, but like on like would sound reasonable in terms of enjoying the fun, and that's what it's here for, isn't it? It's for us to enjoy the flying and the combat and the fun.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I've got half a pint to finish, so I've just got thirsty, so I just poured myself a proper job at this late hour. But I've got half a pint, so I won't be turning in straight away, but I suppose ought to call it there, finish off the bits that we always finish off before we turn in, and perhaps catch you on Sunday.
Yep, certainly. That sounds good. But yeah, I will catch you then.
Yep, okay, have a good weekend and catch you then. TTFN.
Alright, catch you later. Alright.
So if anyone left on my stream, you'll notice the hang on. Anyone left on my stream, you'll notice that the screen's gone. so thanks for being there. If you're not a bot, so the next time we fly together is likely to be Sunday. It's not impossible that I might fly as more testing goes on between now and then, but the next scheduled one would be Sunday. So maybe we'll see you then. Thanks for being there. Take care. TTFN.